What you're seeing right now is 24 frames per second raw video recorded on the Sony A7iii, a camera that was designed to max out at 8-bit. No external recorders needed, only one additional accessory was used to pull these shots off. And in this video, I'm going to explain how I did it. So how did I do it? All it is a very fast time lapse. That's it. This camera, the A7iii, can shoot 10 frames per second in compressed RAW. The basic principle of how you create the effect of a video is much the same as how you would create a time lapse, which, by the way, I have a video explaining everything you need to know about how to shoot and edit time lapses, link in the description. I will just explain the basics here though. So say we have a 24 frames per second timeline. We can take all of our images, compile them and play them back at 24 frames per second, giving us the illusion of regular video. Now, because in reality we're shooting 10 frames per second, when we compile everything in post, the video will play back at approximately 2.5 times faster than it was in real life. So you can already start to see the limitations of this. I originally got the idea to try this in a real world scenario from watching the behind the scenes documentary The Mandalorian. They actually used an old Canon 5D Mark III with a Nikon 28mm lens to capture the miniature footage. A motion control rig was used so they could achieve incredibly smooth, repeatable motion. Because of this, they were able to take just a sequence of raw photos with the correct shutter speed for the frame rate used. When played back at regular speed, you got really natural looking shots at high resolution and high colour depth. Alright, so how can we implement this for use in the real world? I guess the first problem we have to overcome is how we're going to get super smooth camera movement. I'm first going to try out a 16mm camera slider to get controlled movements, but I do have a couple of counterweighted stabilizers to try out, so we'll see how that goes. Something else that I have a couple of is some important factors and things that you'll need for this project. Number one, a ridiculously fast SD card. Something like 300 megabytes a second, class 10 U3 should do you nicely. But no lower than like 200 megasecond. And number two, a remote trigger. For the camera settings, I'm using continuous shooting. Also, one of the benefits of these cameras is that they have a silent shooting mode, which I would absolutely recommend doing. Yes, this does introduce the risk of banding and distortion, but for this purpose, nothing in frame is moving particularly quickly, and I am very much in control of the lighting. I'm shooting compressed RAW and at 16:9 because I don't want to put the camera through any more than it needs to go through. Finally, we're going to be using the 180-degree shutter angle to get the most natural looking motion blur. So that'll be a shutter speed of 1/20 because it's twice our frame rate. So you can see from most of these shots that it actually worked pretty well. The only area where I'm not so sure about its real world use case is when it comes to shooting people. I thought I'd give it a go anyway, so I'm setting up a little scene to do some cardistry. I'm literally just going to try and do the moves really slowly in real life. So when we compile the photos, it should look like it's at normal speed, I think. So anyway, it was pretty fun trying this little hack out to get the 12-bit RAW video out of a stills camera. Don't forget to like the video for the YouTube algorithm, it really does help me out a lot. Also, leave a comment if you've got any questions, and as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.